Hello there, everybody! It's Joe here, and welcome, finally, to my F1 25 My Team Career Mode. Wow, it's been a hot minute, hasn't it? Now, obviously, we only did one season of My Team in the last game cycle on F1 24. And in the end, I elected not to do a follow-up season because, well, they just hadn't really updated it, and the whole... It just got a bit stale, but EA have heard us, and they have completely revamped My Team. It's now known as My Team 2.0, and I cannot wait to get going. So a very good evening to you all, and without further ado, let's get this started, shall we? I do apologise for taking a brief minute. I am just doing some promotional posts onto social media so that anyone who wants to see it can see this. Right, let's jump in. So we're going straight in to My Team Career. Anyone unfamiliar with how this works, this is where you become the 11th team on the Formula 1 grid and you create a team. So what are we doing? We are doing, obviously, a full season. For the first season of any career mode, I like to do a full season. And for anyone who's hoping to see driver career mode, that will be launched on Friday. And further My Team episodes will be, well, they won't be live, they will be clipped. But I wanted to launch this all-new career mode as a live video because it is all new and I cannot wait to throw myself in. But future uploads will be clipped, and the next one of these hopefully should be tomorrow. Right, let's get into it then. Full season. Let's customize these settings though. And yeah, expert settings filter. So what have we got? The assist, well, you know what I use at this stage. AI difficulty, I'm going to put it around 97. I feel like that's right for us, having done a few races on this already. Practice will be full, qualifying format also full, and the race distance will be 50%, as we always do. Weather and time of day, forecast accuracy, well, let's just go with approximate, shall we? Driver moves increased. So this is new. This basically means that when drivers change teams, you can choose how often it happens. So the likelihood of AI teams signing a different lineup is reduced, is balanced, which is basically normal, or increased. Now, if you're anything like me, I'm going to set it to increased because this will be awesome to see how that works. And some of the driver transfers, they amuse me, I'm not going to lie. Department event frequency, yeah, that's fine. Fault frequency then, let's go down to that. We're going to have it on low, and obviously fault types on high, so that we can get a technical fault with the car that ends our race. Moving on, rules and flags on, obviously. Corner cutting stringency on regular. Then we've got pit stop against safety car, gonna put that up to increased. Same with red flags. And the safety car experience is immersive. Simulation settings. Damage simulation, obviously. Yep, that's all looking good for me. Right, so that's the settings we're going with for this career mode. Let's confirm them. So you can choose whether you play as My Team, whether you play as Connor Sport, and you have the drivers from Breaking Point Aiden Jackson and Callie Mayer, or from the F1 movie, Joshua Pierce and Sonny Hayes. Now, obviously, we're going to go with my team, where we create a team and build it from the ground up. Now, you have here another option, official drivers, all driver icons, or choose driver icons. Now, of course, we're going to have all driver icons on. Why wouldn't we? Let's confirm that. Skip the tutorials. Okay, so welcome to the team headquarters, and this is looking new. So basically, we're the owner. Create your team owner. I am Joseph Waters. I would go with Joe, but you know, I want to be a bit more professional than that. So we've got Joseph Waters, owner avatar. Oh good lord, no, I'm not Samuel L. Jackson. It's like a cross between Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock. Like, no, that's not us. What have we got there? No, that's just Morgan Freeman. What have we got? What do we got? I feel like this one's quite close to a representation. Are there any others that, to me... We need more choice of avatar, really. I tell you what, that one... Oh, no, I think Arav is using that one. Where's the one we saw earlier? Actually, you know what, I think that one's close enough. That one will do. That one will do. So let's advance from that. So let's go with background. What do we got here? People manager. Every organisation is made up of people and managing people ever since your... There. I'm going to read that again. Every organisation is made up of people, and managing people has been your speciality ever since you started climbing the ladder. You know that the team is only as good as the people in it, and you are committed to empowering and developing your staff to allow them to reach the full potential. Then you've got the engineer. You might suffer the boardroom and the politics, but the garage has always been where you felt most at home. Your expertise in this area allows you to earn more resource points per week. Chief Finance. I think we'll go with engineer, just because the resource points will help move the team forward up through the field. So we'll go with that. Choose your starting facility investment. So I know a lot of people will go either advanced or extensive, but I want to start this from the beginning. Make it a proper Road to Glory style. We're going to start from the beginning. Have the very basic in everything. Okay, now let's go for our team identity. You know what? I love how detailed this is. So let's create our team name. We're gonna go with H2O. Just simply H2O. Did that work? I think it did. Right, team colours. Ooh. So we've always traditionally, when we've played my team, gone for like a purple, black, and sort of maybe an orange or red. Let's keep to tradition here with that and keep those three as our primary colours. I feel like that has always served us well. Now we've got team badge. And we've got badge style as well, so you can edit the sort of style the badge is. And I think... Ooh, I like that one. I like that one. I want that one! Hang on, I didn't... What's an emblem? Ooh, I like that. See if we can edit the style. Yeah, that one! That one! That's the one I want. Okay. Teamwear colours, well again, they copy our colours. Let's advance. Corporate. Now this will be familiar to you all, and here we have to sign 2 drivers. Now this is the twist with the new My Team. You do not race as yourself. You have to race as one of the drivers in the game. So, that's a new twist. But you can alternate between the two drivers. So if you want to race as your lead driver and go for some great results, that's a good approach. But also, if your lead driver's doing really well, but your number 2 is really struggling, you can then take control of the number 2 and accordingly try and get them a better result. As for me, I will be alternating race by race as to who I'm racing as. So team details, first we need a sponsor. We've got Xenon, we've got Xformig and Seren. Now the one thing to look at is the weekly income, because looking at that, you'd instantly think that gets you more money to go along, but the bigger bonus comes with Xenon. But what I'm thinking is the weekly income might be more useful in the grand scheme of things moving forward. So I think we're going to go with Seren, and I think we're going to select them as the title sponsor again because the weekly income is quite high, which I think is important, especially at this early stage. Okay, so we've now got nearly $8 million to play with thanks to the sponsorship money. So what we need is power, an engine to go in the car. Now Ferrari, for some reason, has the best performance. I can't understand why watching them in real F1 is like watching a clown team. But anyway, we are going to go with Red Bull powertrains. I was tempted to go towards Renault, but looking at the durability, no thanks. So we're going to click Red Bull powertrains. Now, this is the crucial thing. Picking a lead driver. So we've got the F3 icons here in Zagazita, Solov, Voisin and Brandon. Well, Brandon Lee's not a F3 icon, but Tim Tramnitz is. Then as we move across, we have got some big names from the world of streaming. And then as we move across, we got some F2 drivers to choose from. Then we've got Joshua Pierce and Sonny Hayes. Then we've got some iconic drivers. We've also got Callie Mayer and Aidan Jackson from Connor Sport. And the biggest icon you can sign is Michael Schumacher, but that just takes all the money away. I think for season 1, do I want a big lead driver, or do I want to have some money and just pick 2 rookies off the bat? I think we're going to go with a couple of rookies, I think we're a whole new team, and while I would like to take an icon a bit later on, I think at the moment one thing I'd like to do is just start building the team first. So we're going to take 2 rookies for the first season. As much as I'd love to grab someone like Mark Webber, we're going to go with 2 rookies. So first off, let's look at what they bring to a team. I'm going to go with Zane Maloney for the lead driver. Zane Maloney is going to be our first driver. And then our second driver, we're going to go with an F3 driver. And I'm going to go with Tim Tramnitz. So we're going with 2 completely new prospects. And we're putting Barbados on the map here. We got the first Bayesian driver in Formula. I don't know if there was one before. Someone get your stats out and let me know. So let's confirm our driver lineup. Our race gear. First up is our car. And we need to look at a livery for this season. Now that is a Lewis Hamilton special. I'm thinking that, but I'm not entirely sure. However, I am pretty inclined towards this one if we go for our normal colour scheme. So I think that there... Oh, I don't know if we go with the purple there. Let's go with the purple there. And we usually use quite a dark purple. We'll go with a gloss finish, and there we go. I actually really like what we've got going here. We've got that bit as black, and then we've got, let's try and incorporate the red. I like that. I like that. So that is going to be our very first livery for my team 2025. Take a good look at that. I think that's a thing of beauty. So let's go back. I would like to, if I can, customize the sponsor decal, the suit. Oh, see, I quite like that suit, but I also like that one. But I think we're going to go with that one because that's got our main colours on it, and I think that does look fairly good. Gloves again. If we follow our colours, let's advance that. I would like to alter, if I can, our car. Like, can you alter the sponsor decals yet? I'm not sure. Whatever, let's just say that is our testing livery for now. It's all blank. Nothing really there. Let's advance and go towards this cutscene.
Welcome to this very special live stream. Great to be with you all, because today we're going to witness history.
That's absolutely right, Natalie.
Why have they aged Naomi Schiff like 15 years?
Teams would look like on the grid. Guess what? Today is the day we find out.
And we are here at the team's state-of-the-art HQ. We'll be seeing their brand new car very soon. But behind every team, behind every car, there's one person central to it all.
Yes, and they've been described as somewhat of an engineering genius, coming up with all the ideas to push the car and the sport to its limits. The question is, though, will they be able to step out of their comfort zone to deal with all the things that come with being a leader, dealing with the team's finances, sponsors, motivating the team and the drivers? Will they be able to juggle that, or will they drop the ball?
And we'll be seeing more behind the scenes as the season progresses. But of course, it is all about what happens on track. So, without further ado, let's see the fruits of their labour, the brand new 2025 car.
Well, thank you all for joining us. The team have done an incredible job. The car looks sensational.
It certainly does. Congratulations, and all the very best for the season ahead.
Okay, what have we got here? Let's have a look. So we've got activities, and for the first time, you can choose activities for different. Oh God, this is so much more immersive as a team owner than anything that has come before it. So corporate here. This is where you look at the finances within your team and make sure that you're not going over the cost cap. The cost cap, which is set at, as you can see there, 135 million. I don't think that's going to be an issue in our first season. But there you go. For the first time, different departments, that's what I was looking for, can take on different activities. So what we're going to look at here, this is basically the team owner training, fan rating. So fan rating is obviously how the fans view you, and you can compare that here. And at the moment, we're right at the back. Performance. So So we're currently at tier 1. And as we upgrade through that, that will earn us perks and allow us to take on more... Well, that will allow us just to take on more staff, upgrade the facilities and make everything better. So engineering, we've got R&D is now split into 2 sections where it's research and then the development. So you cannot do R&D together anymore. They all come as one. So once you've researched your parts, you can then click to complete them and develop them. And also, one thing you can do is choose, and I've seen this on the main. I've seen this on other footage as well as the deep dive footage. You can choose whether you give one of your developments to one of your drivers or both of your drivers. But mind you, you might make a driver feel slightly disgruntled if you go with preferential treatment. So first things first, I always prioritize going for weight reduction. So let's get some research going on that. Start research, and as you see, our resource points have dropped, so they're going to be ever critical. And now we're looking at engine power. Where are we with engine power? Well, I don't actually think we're too bad at this stage. Ideally, I want to be able to prioritize. So they don't have drag reduction yet on the upgrades for aerodynamics. So we've got to work our way up to that. So let's have a look at some pistons as well. Research some pistons and start upgrading the engine. So we've got the engineering personnel, drivers and workforce. And what you have here is drivers that you can have external talks with as well. So if you want to have talks with other drivers, you can. Here is the full driver market. You've got all the icons here, and then as you scroll down, you have the full 2024 F2 grid, as well as some icons. So you got Juan Manuel Correa there, Ritomo Miata, Zach O'Sullivan, Joshua Dirksen. I'm interested in scouting him out at some point. Enzo Fittipaldi, Dennis Hauger, Kush Miney, Jack Crawford, Zane Maloney, who's with us, Pepe Marti, Victor Martins, Paul Aron. Again, he'd be an interesting one to grab if we can. And we've also got Franco Colapinto. Now, one thing I want to do is just... I want to establish, if I can, driver talks with Franco Colapinto. So it's interestingly, it's not the entire F2 grid. It is just certain drivers from it, which is interesting. But I think that's because so many made the jump forward into F1 from the 2024 season. So I think, where's Franco Colapinto? We're gonna nab him.
We're just with a very early preliminary inquiry to their side. I'll let you know how it goes.
So we're going to shout to him because I really would like to grab Franco Colapinto. Tim Tramnitz is very much sort of a wild card at the moment, and it all really depends on how we go with him. But I do want to move. I do want to maybe look at nabbing Franco Colapinto on a more permanent basis. So I think we will leave that for now. That's something to come back to. Personnel, corporate, finally. This is more familiar. So this is the owner, the name and the avatar as you were. Race gear, car. Can we do something about this decal? Yes, we can. So we can also grab a secondary sponsor right now. And I am going to nab... Ooh, what do we do? What's going to look good on the car? I think we're going to nab Novus. Oh, that's locked. Okay, so you have to work your way up to some of these sponsors. But I think we're going to go with Slingshot Fuel. And we're going to move that. I think that's going to be... We're going to stick you on the top like that. And now when you move across, you can change the size of it. Ooh. Okay, I quite like having it big, but... There we go. I do want to grab a sponsor for the Halo as well. Rear wing's important. Oh, so you can grab multiple sponsors as you go along. Right, that's news to me. Okay. So, I'm happy with that. I just want to make it bigger. There we go. Sorry, I'm still fiddling around with this, like... I do apologise. I'm fiddling around. We haven't had... I haven't been able to fiddle around with something like this before, so I am quite fascinated in how this is working. And I think we got something for the rear wing. I want to come back to this a bit later. But right now, let's go with the Halo. And I think we're going to go with... Ooh, Asia Tech Dynamic. Nope, we can't. Okay, let's just go with that for now. Okay, now we just move that a little bit. Yeah. Okay, right. What I'm gonna do is because I'm live, as much as I'd like to fiddle around with this a bit longer, you're not here for that. You're here to see me race. So we are actually gonna edit. Where's one thing I am gonna do is make the side pod one, Seren. We're going to make that bigger. There we go. Now that is looking pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I will fiddle around with it a bit more. So going into round 2, we might have things a little bit different where I have fiddled around with it. But you're not here for that. It's time to get into the nitty gritty. I've fiddled around with things enough for now. Let's just have a look at anything else. Facility improvements. Is there anything we can do? Yes, there is. So let's improve our merchandising department. And let's throw in some engineering improvements. Can we get some personnel? Upgraded internet. Let's get the internet. Let's give them some better internet. They want fiber optic. Come on, guys. Right. Hang on. Assign upgrades. Parts equipped 8. So no parts have been developed yet. Okay, right, here we go then. Let's go back and select some activities. So for the engineering department, we have all these department onboarding, worldwide franchise tour. Let's have a I feel like this is a good one. Department onboarding decreases morale all round, and morale is important. For the engineering department, let's go with some research focus. And can we do that? Chassis calibration, aerodynamic calibration. Let's go with the chassis calibration. Personnel, let's go back up. Pre-season test sessions, yep. And then driver training camp. That'll help as well. And we can do early drive tool. Not really interested in that. What else can we do here? Let's fill up the time. Let's fill it all up because we need to fill it up. So we can have a team conference. Like I said, it's important to just fill up the time. Again, I'm going to have another fiddle around when I'm not live and I've got more time to sort of fiddle around with it all. But it's all looking pretty awesome, and I want to explore this properly. So I will do that obviously when I'm not live and I've got a bit more time to do it. But let's do what you came here to see.
A sponsor is interested in backing our team.
A sponsor is interested in backing our team. So what do we got? I'm thrilled to inform you that we've secured a new secondary sponsor. We think we should think about yeah, okay. Okay, let's think about that one then. Again, I'll have a look at that more when I have time. Oh, here we go. We've got an issue here. What's that? We got messages. Welcome to your office. Car development. Factories on. Speaking of disadvantage compared to a lot of the grid. Facilities basic. No cash investment. Right, where have we got issues? Because right, so the research, we've hit a bit of a block. I think it was on the powertrain. I wish it'd be more specific. Development, what do we got? We have a slot available. So what part has failed then? Oh, that'll be the researching. I don't know whether it failed or not. I don't know. Again, I'll have another fiddle around with that on a bit later when we got a bit more time. Pistons, we will see on the 2nd of March. And research has been completed.
One of our research upgrades is complete. Once we finish
so now let's have a look at that. We can go to develop.
Head over to the development screen to get started.
Powertrain, here we go. So the pistons have been developed. And we can do a single development for 110k. And that'll be in 9 days. At the moment, it's locked. Like, a lot of it is locked, so we've got to unlock it. Where's the chassis one? Research. Okay, so it says research delayed. That's what's happened. The research on the weight reduction has been delayed, so that's unfortunate for us, but it happens. It happens. Right, let's carry on. And now we've got the new season grid reveal. Let's do it. So that will be your grid for this season. 424 races. Yeah. Exciting times. Okay, what else have we got? Let's keep going then. Team conference. Early driver talks. Oh! Oh, the development of our pistons failed. Oh, damn. That is bad news for us. But look, we've already completed level 1 of improved computer systems. Unfortunately, our development has failed. But the chassis development is now complete. Research, sorry, is complete. So let's look at developing that. And let's go towards the powertrain development, which has failed. We're gonna try. Right. Okay. So what do we do here? We have a choice to go with the research part that failed, or restart the research completely. Let's see. I think we can. Let's try and redevelop that upgrade before we start again with it, and see if that works for us. But we've got a very basic car going into round 1. If I'm going to be honest, go to your corporate facility. We have an event. What is that? The lavish event successfully distracted the public from our financial situation, but it came at a significant cost. However, hopefully, the positive reception will make it worthwhile. Well, that's good then. And I made a positive executive decision. Meanwhile, what other star have we got here? Research. We've got plenty of resource points now to allocate to R&D. So let's look at another potential upgrade for weight reduction. And also, when we have facility improvement, we can go for tyre wear, which is a crucial one. But let's put research on that, and while we're at it, let's put some research on a front wing. Right, I've had enough. I want to go to the track. Let's go to the track.
Hey,
so here we go. It's race weekend for the Australian Grand Prix. Now, each race weekend you have a choice of driving as your main driver, your lead driver, or your second driver. I'm going to be alternating every race as to which one I drive as. So for the first race of the season, we are going to race as Zane Maloney, the boy from Barbados. Here we go then. Only 40 minutes into the stream and we get to the track action. I will put that in the comments for anyone who turns up on the video. If you want to see track action, just skip to about 40 minutes in. What we're going to do is we're going to go through practice first, get the feel of the car before we go into qualifying. We got messages here, no upgrades. I know it's disappointing, but we have to just work with. Unfortunately, at this stage, we have to work with what we have and build from there. So it's going to be a tough weekend. It's going to be a tough race. I'm not expecting anything. If we could just be close to the points, I would take it. I'm hoping maybe P13, P14. If we can grab that,
This is it.
I'll be happy. But this is it. So we're going to do practice first. And one thing, before we do
great to be back.
any practice programs.
Hey mate, this is Mark.
Shut up, Mark.
A good year. We're going to have a great time together. And obviously the team are brand new, so I've set everything up from scratch. Let's make the big boss happy and show that we're not just here on the grid to make up the numbers, all right?
Well, I am the big boss. I'm just not racing as him. Oh, garage tutorial. I don't care. I've been playing F1 games for as long as I can remember. One thing I want to do is just go to track, and we're going to drive out. So let's just get the feel for what the car feels like.
Modes to choose from in the race now. Have a play around with them in your MFD during the practice sessions and think about how you might use them on race day. I'll check back with you soon to chat more about it.
Yep, cheers for that, Mark. Right, here we go, onto the track. Oh, it's a great feeling, isn't it, when all the build-up, it comes down to this moment where you finally get on track. ERS deploy. Oh, there are many different modes you can use. At the moment, let's just choose a very basic sort of harvesting while I get the feel of the car. Okay, let's go on to medium. It doesn't feel too bad, actually, so far, this car. I do enjoy the new handling model on this game. I do think it's like... It's the best of 23, F1 23 and 24's handling. You do have to fight the car sometimes, and the way you drive it also determines how much of the tyres you use. So that's something to think about as well. The way you drive and how aggressive you are, if you push for it and you're going ham, you really do use a lot of tyres in comparison to if you're just driving and thinking about it. And that's one thing this game for me has really introduced. You have to think about how you're using the tyres. Right, we're going to do a quick flying lap then and just sort of get a time on the board. And then when I'm happy with that, we will run through the practice programs. And once we have done that, I will then advance to qualifying. And then once we've done that, of course, it will be the Australian Grand Prix. I really like the design of this car. I'm so happy with how this looks. And it's good to be playing my team again after taking a sizable break from it. Just because, I'll be honest, when they threw in the big driver career updates that they did in F1 24, nothing with my team changed. Like, literally nothing. And since 2020, while there have been one or two little changes here and there, it has basically been the same concept, the same delivery, and you know, I just wanted to see them do something a bit different with it. So that's what they've done now, and I'm excited to see the differences they've made to my team career mode. The driver career mode was really fun to play in the last game cycle, and the one thing I enjoyed doing of that was starting in F2 and working my way into F1. Now, I've not done that for this game cycle. I've just gone straight into F1, but there will be both driver and my team career modes for you to look forward to. And in the next race, obviously, I will be driving as Tim Tramnitz. So I'm looking forward to alternating between drivers. I'm going for it a bit more in this second lap. I did lose a bit of time in the first sector. I'm just getting a feel for how the car feels on a flying lap. Whoa! Massive understeer there that turned into oversteer. You can definitely tell that this is a backmarker car. Like, it feels very different to the car I'm driving for the current career mode, my driver career mode, sorry, which I've filmed a couple of episodes for already, launching on Friday, and it feels different. This feels, yeah, you can tell it's not a front-running car. So what we've got here, we've got ERS management, race strategy, and tyre management. So I'm going to go ahead and start the ERS management one. And what we'll do is for the tyre management, I will do that separately via the quick practice mode, which you will see momentarily. And we've got a traffic jam. I really thought that I really would have thought that this wouldn't happen in the game, but unfortunately we had a bit of a traffic jam, and I nearly had a bit of a drama with Isaac Hadjar, former teammate to Zane Maloney, I believe in Frecker, way back in the day. And we're doing quite nicely on the Delta. I will turn on some ERS though, just to get us up a bit more on the Delta. I do like the design of this car. I've outdone myself here.
Nice one. Okay, reminder, a neat way to recharge the batteries by lifting at certain points when you feel you can and by gentle braking. Try those this lap and see how you get on.
Yeah, cheers for that, Mark. I wouldn't have thought of that without you saying, but now you've said that, you know, I feel like I'm really in the know here. That was a bit naughty. We're coming towards the end of the lap now, and we are in the green on the Delta. Whenever we're not, I am just pressing the overtake button, try and get a bit more forward momentum. I really want us to stay in the purple here. Come on! Okay, we did it. That was a little close, but we did it.
Valuable information out of that. Well done.
We got a lot of valuable information. Right, let's go back to the garage and do our race strategy program again. Tyre management I'll do via the quick practice, which becomes available once you've done the first practice of the season.
Okay, you've got race levels
we're fastest in the order at the moment. No, I wouldn't set too much store by what you're seeing there, even though Leclerc's done his lap on the soft. I'll be surprised if that is where we are, because somehow I don't believe the game. So now we've got the race strategy run. If you do that right, you only really need to do 3 laps of it, which is what we're going to do. We've got development boosts as well, which are helpful because that will help cheapen R&D parts. So this is just practice at the moment. We will be doing qualifying very, very soon. I know you guys have waited a long time for it, and you've been very patient so far. To anyone who's stuck this out so far, I do thank you for watching and sticking it out. We will get on with the nitty-gritty parts soon. That was a little bit naughty there. It's also strange to have Albert Park as the first race again. Melbourne being round 1. I mean, it used to be in the days where I first started watching F1 back in the late 90s, which in my opinion, the goated era of F1, and you cannot change my mind. But back in the late 90s, Melbourne was the first race, and it feels kind of fitting again to have it back as the first race. As much as I loved having Bahrain as the first race and feel like it was a great track to have as the first, you just can't beat the first race being in Australia. And also, it gets the one at horrible o'clock in the morning out of the way. Cue the Australian fans who are going to comment something like, "Cry more, you pommy bastard," or something like that. I don't know. That's the worst Australian accent ever. I think that might be my teammate up ahead of me. Ocon's just gone in the top 5. That chicane is always just a test of how fast are you willing to go through there. There's Tim ahead of us now. I'm fairly sure it's Tim. I tell you what, if we can get close to him while we're doing this, it'll give a nice chance to look at the car from behind. Right, so the second lap is done. We've got one more lap of this to do, and then we are done here, and we can look at getting the final bits done in the menu, and then heading to qualifying, which is the nitty-gritty part of the race weekend. That's not the circuit. Pushing too hard there. That's woke me up a bit. I was just focusing on the delta and focusing on the car ahead, and yeah, that resulted in a bit of a moment there. Better in practice than in the race, right? We're about to complete the program now, and it is gonna be Russell's on the march there, and actually we have completed the program. Tim Tramnitz has a bit of a lock up, but we're now gonna head back to the garage, and we're gonna let the rest of this session just actually, instead of doing that, let's just hit retire from session, and then we'll get the times for the first practice.
And that's it. Practice.
And we're 11th.
Over. Until next time, goodbye.
Don't know why it's showing my best timers on the hard tyres, though. I don't know why you're showing me that. So our time in practice was good enough for 11th, which not too shabby, I'm not going to lie. Oh, I'm just looking at the rain, the forecast for the race. It is due to rain. Okay, so let's go into the quick practice, which, as you know, is just a faster way of doing the programs that I cannot be bothered to do. And I'll be honest, I'm live. I've been live for about an hour. But that's just how much new stuff there's been to see. And I think I've wanted to take the time to fiddle with it a bit and just show you guys what's new to the game. And just have an initial look. Right, so that's FP2 over. And I am going to click, when we can, let's go to qualifying. So let's do that. Qualifying. This is it. This is the big test of where we are at. And we managed to bank a good number of resource points. That'll help us in the research and development. I do love how much more immersive this game is in the team owner side of things.
We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
It really looks like they've merged the best parts of F1 Manager into this game for a very immersive team owner experience, but you still get to drive as one of the drivers. And obviously here, where is Zane Maloney? Right, the talk stops here. This is where we see...
I'm afraid we've dropped to P22. P22.
This is where the stopwatch does the talking. And at the moment, where's Tramnitz? I really would have thought he'd be in the bottom 5. He's low-key cooking at the moment, is our teammate. Alright, let's see what we've got here. First qualifying lap of this career mode. Let's see what we got. Turn 1. Flick it in. Bit of grass on the tyres, no problem. Let the car do the work through turn 2. Then we've got this big braking spot. Clip that apex. I think we clipped that a bit too hard. Taken too much curb. That'll lose us about a tenth or two before we flick it round here. Strong in sector 1, but I'm always strong round there. Now we head on to the main. Well, I want to say the main straight, but it's not the straight. But this is where you pick up the most speed. Hey Amy, what's up? Thank you for joining. Also hello to Tash, who commented earlier. I didn't see that because I was really going through the menu. But hello to the pair of you. Coming round into the final sector now. This looks pretty strong, I'm not going to lie. It looks like a decent lap. Hold on the brakes here. I'm at a guess, I'd say we're going to go about 14th, 15th. See where we're at. 8th! Wow! Okay. That's a surprise. Damn, I didn't think it was that fast, but okay. We're P8 for now. And that's going to be comfortably through. I might need to review this difficulty. But I think we're safely through. I can't imagine why we wouldn't be there. Yep, we're into Q2. Wow, that was a lap and a half. And Tramnitz is through as well. Alright, this is a great qualifier. We are cooking. We are cooking here. We got Tim Tramnitz through, and we've got through with the star driver. And about 6 tenths of a second. That's round about right. Like, when you consider Tim's level, that's round about right. I think maybe one more notch on the difficulty. But that's round about where I would have expected us to be. So, well, at that pace, we may even make it into Q3. And that would be something, wouldn't it? That would be something. Let's go to towards the end. When the track is at its best. So, around now, let's go. Let's do our Q2 lap. I did not expect to make it into Q2, let alone with the ease that we did. We've got a couple of cars in front, though. Who's that in front? That's Jack Doohan.
Down into P16
Unfortunately, Tramnitz is not really making any further inroads other than P16. I'm just trying to give myself some space here before we get going on this lap, and I think that is some perfect space. Let's go, let's do this lap. Q2 then. Let's go. Oh, that was even better around the first corner. Little bit of overtake down the straight before we hit turn 3. Let's not hit the curb so hard this time. Actually, it's a little bit deep, but I think we'll get away with it. And again, pretty nice through there. You got to watch out for that outside wall, because that wall just sucks you in. We're a 10th up on signs, which is decent, because that we might just get ourselves in the top 10 here. I'll tell you what, I went through that right-hander with some oomph, didn't I? 3 tenths up in the second sector. Oh, this lap is just on the ragged edge. This is what F1 is all about. This is what qualifying and pushing hard is all about. It's about finding the limits and then pushing them I tell you what, whatever happens, I'm proud of this effort. This has been a solid lap. Where does it stick us? 13th. You know what? I'll take that. I will take that. That's better than I could have expected in our first qualifying. And I was wringing that car's neck. So to be able to do that, I'm pretty happy with that. We were half a second off getting into Q3. And I think normally I use a bit more overtake round the back of the circuit. But I think even if we had used the overtake button a bit more, I still feel like the most we would have done is probably get a bit closer to Carlos. So I think we are pretty much... Look, there's a second between Sainz and Albon, and I think we still would have stayed there if I'd have used a bit more overtake, which I normally do. But Antonelli, though, look at that, 1,000th out. Still, though, a very strong qualifying session for our first. I will absolutely take that all day long. And you never know what will happen in the race. Opportunities could come our way, but it's looking very good. Okay, so another thing I'll do in the comments again is I will time, once this live is finished, what I'll do is write in the comments where everything is. So if you want to start watching track action, 40 minutes, qualifying is around 50, and the race is round about an hour in. Okay, it's time to do it. This is our first My Team Career Mode Grand Prix. This is the Australian Grand Prix.
The winter is over. It's time for Formula One 2025. Yes, that long break that you've all been coping with so well can now be put to the back of your minds. It's on-track action and it's off-track drama. That's what we're looking forward to. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. It's a combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners, making it a very tricky track when it comes to overtaking. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Leclerc, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Tsunoda, Russell, Lawson, Gasly, and Fernando Alonso, Antonelli, Sainz, Zayn Maloney, and Albon, Doohan, Tramnitz, Esteban Ocon, and Nico Hülkenberg, Stroll, Behrman, Bortoleto, and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? So I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about this afternoon, and who's going to talk about it with us? None other than Naomi Schiff. Hi, Naomi. New season, new dawn, and now 22 cars and 11 teams on the grid.
First of all, this is such an exciting time. I mean, to have an 11th team on the grid is exciting news for the sport. But for them today, I guess You would be really nervous. It's the first time you're going to be doing this. There is so much to learn. But at the end of the day, they've got to remember that expectations aren't that high. They've all been there before. They've all had their first race, and no one is expecting them to land on the top of the podium. So just learn to walk before you can run.
Great words of wisdom there from Naomi Schiff.
If we want to achieve a points finish like last race, you're going to need to push for positions early on. Let's go for it.
What do you mean a points finish like last race? We haven't done a race yet, you absolute dolt. Right. Rain is forecast, so I want to do something different here. I want to start on hards and see if we can run until the rain. I mean, we've got nothing to lose with that approach, I feel like. Because, again, it's the first race. New team. New everything. Nothing to lose. We're starting from P13, so we're not starting from inside the points. And, obviously, anything we achieve from here, you know, great. But I want to try and just have a little bit of a bold experiment with strategy. And just see if we can take these tyres to when the rain rolls in. I feel like if that works out for us, we've got a great opportunity for points. If it doesn't, we start 13th. We've lost nothing. So, it's an all-out gamble, really. 29 laps in this race. What will unfold? What will happen? Let's go! I'm already blocked in by Antonelli there. I don't feel like we're really going to lose anything here because no one really sent anything. But I'm definitely having a look at Antonelli. Nope, no way through there. Okay, so we got through turn 1 without drama. That's good. That's the best start we could have had. Antonelli, what are you doing? I mean, he didn't really see me coming, but all the same, I would have expected... Oh, God, okay. Oh, the understeer. I would have expected Antonelli to be a bit more mindful of us there. But he really just had no idea we were going to be there. Lap 1, 29. So we maintained P13, which is good. Doohan is right behind me. He might want to go. Albon might also want to go. Doohan will especially want to go because he's on medium tyres, whereas we're on hards. I'm actually happy to have maintained this position for now. And, oh, Gasly's having a look at Alonso. And they're backing each other up a bit. So, again, this is where opportunities can form. Because I've noticed the AI battle quite a bit harder on this game. But where they battle that much harder, it really brings me into play. So, Lando Norris leads this first lap of this new career mode. Jack Doohan is trying to set a move up. I'm not going to let that happen. And Gasly has held on to the position. No, Gasly's got past Alonso. Antonelli has also found his way past Alonso. And let's see if we can make Alonso's day worse. Well, he didn't really give me the room, did he? Alonso closing that one off before we even got to try it. But Alonso is clearly slower at this stage of the race, so if we get past Alonso quickly, the better. That's not how you handle the corner, and that's going to allow Jack Doohan potentially to have a run. If Alonso has DRS... No, he doesn't. He might be vulnerable here, but I'm not going to try and do it here. I'm going to wait until the next corner here. We've got another DRS zone. And this is going to be where I try... Oh, look at the momentum we've got. That is ridiculous. As we dive down the inside of the double world champion, up into P12, ahead of Fernando Alonso. And for now, that was a nice little move. And Zane Maloney running P12 in his debut Formula 1 race. But now we've got the attentions of Fernando Alonso right behind us, and he's coming straight back at us. Alonso wanting the place, and Alonso getting it back. And annoyingly, he's going to have another burst of DRS here, but we're going to get it as we come back towards the back of the circuit again. What's tyre wear like? About 5% a lap. Okay, that's a little bit higher than I would have hoped. I would have hoped maybe a little bit less tyre wear. Oh, and I would have hoped a bit less wide there. Let's try and retake Alonso again. It might again be a case of not doing it here, but waiting and then redoing it in the place we did it before. Using a lot of curb there. Here we go. We're going to go for Fernando Alonso. He's going to go defensive. I'm going to go to the outside. I've allowed Alonso the space.
Good job.
And we move back up into P12. And that is a nice little move. But I don't really want to be wasting this time fighting Alonso. I want to be trying to find some clear air and doing my own race. 14% after 3 laps, so I'm confident we can...
Your teammate behind, 3.0
not letting Alonso through as easily this time. I'm confident we can run up to about 15, maybe 16, but after that, that's where it gets a little bit hairy on strategy, and I don't really want to have to push at this early stage. But Alonso seems to be struggling for pace, and we're now 3 seconds behind a massive DRS train. I'm not sure who's holding that lot up, but we're a couple of seconds off of it, and Alonso's now dropped to about 8 tenths behind us. So if we can just build that gap and sit pretty where we are for a while, that'll be good. We're currently in P12, and the pace doesn't necessarily feel bad, although attacking the curb that hard doesn't help. So where are we? We're on lap 4 of 29. Not much has really happened. We've had a battle with Alonso, which Alonso has lost out on. He's now going to have Jack Doohan all over the rear, his rear. What are we on now? We're on 19%, so I'm going to want this rain to turn up quite early if it's going to. And Alonso is just sort of... So there's 2 trains. There's a train ahead and a train behind. And the train ahead are battling quite hard. And that might let me latch onto them, which would be great for us. Look how much we're catching them. So that just shows you how hard they're racing each other, because we're just latching onto the train. And at this stage, the fact that they're racing each other as they are, they're really backing each other up. And Doohan's got past Fernando Alonso. Look how slow they're going. I might up the difficulty to 100, you know. I feel like it needs a little tinker. Either that or the medium tyres are just starting to wear a bit, and the hards are looking pretty good right now, although they've taken quite a punishment this lap. I imagine it's from all the curb attacking we've done. Kind of want to try and settle into a bit of a rhythm at the moment. There is inclement weather meant to hit during this race at some point. When it hits, I don't know. I'm just happy to sit here for now.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 2.1 seconds.
Like, I'm very happy to sort of just sit here at this pace. I don't need to push. I don't need to do anything. We're already in a decent position. And where the cars ahead are racing quite hard. And they're in their own train. Just doing what we're doing is bringing us into this train. doing Alonso, just dropping back quite a bit now. I can actually see the battle in turn 1 raging on. Someone's backed up, which of course will then back everybody else up. And that's how they move closer to us. So somebody is backing it up. And either that or they're just all racing each other. And it's just bringing us into play. At the moment, though, I don't feel like I really need to take any unnecessary risks. I'm just trying to mind out the tyres, but that's proving harder than originally anticipated. Lap 7 then, so far no real drama. We've had a fight with Alonso. Other than that, we've just kind of settled into a little bit of a lap by lap routine. Just keeping an eye on the tyres to just keep checking whether this plan will actually work or not. But the pace that we're showing at the moment, this is genuinely very encouraging. But I think there's still a long way to go. Before we're serious contenders, obviously.
Okay, gap to the car ahead.
The clouds, which, you know, it's been cloudy all race, but it does look as if it's just getting a little bit darker now. Weather report. Okay, great, that's useful, thank you very much. I've just wasted your time with that. Oh, don't do that in the middle of the corner.
Stable at the moment, no rain currently expected.
So they're saying conditions look stable, which is bad news for us, taking the gamble that we're taking, because it's very much weather dependent on whether it works. And I've just noticed the guys in front have backed up a bit more now. So there's one car in particular that seems to be backing it up, because as the train seems to be getting smaller, so cars are obviously getting through. And I think Antonelli's got past Gasly somewhere.
Tyres are degrading fast. We can change strategy if you want. Check your MFD for details.
41%. So it's interesting because they'll be at about 70% by lap 14. So that's not good for us. But I'm thinking if we get onto medium tyres, let's have a look. What are they thinking?
Got that confirmed.
Okay, let's do that and see how that works. So we will end up pitting because at the moment they're saying that there's no sign of this rain at the moment. So if we pit and go onto a second set of mediums, the tyres are degrading at a faster rate.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance. And
No, well, I didn't agree to that.
Make sure you don't speed.
Let's hold your horses there. Ooh, who's battling? I think that's a V-carbon somebody as we attack that curb quite heavily. I think the floor of the car will feel that. I think there's a... I really wish I knew what that car was. I think it's a Williams. So I think we're going to go as far as 14 and stick on the mediums and then see where we end up. That's the plan moving forward.
If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button.
I can tell you now, this has been less eventful than the driver career mode race was. That was very eventful, and you guys are going to get a kick out of seeing that on Friday. At the moment, it's very sort of static. And this is one of those races that shows you why I prefer to clip career mode, because you get a lot of moments like this. But interestingly, we're now within a second of Gasly. So, oh, here we go. This is where things start getting interesting. Liam Lawson into the pits. So, our first stopper of this career mode is Liam Lawson. That's an interesting pit stop there. So he's a little bit in no man's land here. I'm not sure if that means he's moving to a two-stop or sticking with the one, as Antonelli, has a massive lock-up. And now we're on the rear of both Antonelli and Gasly. And you know what? My battery, which I've been low-key charging for the last few laps, let's have a big burst. I want to try and pass both of these. Here we go. First up is Gasly. Is he going to have a look at Antonelli? I don't know. We've kind of boxed him in as we're going around the outside. Can we get them both? Yes, we do. Oh, that is an overtake.
Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
What an overtake on Antonelli and Gasly. I managed to box Gasly in behind Antonelli, went round the outside of him, and then I took them both. That was a great bit of driving there. As we move on to lap 11. 3 laps to go before the stop, and Pierre Gasly's going to want this place back now. Gasly coming back at me. He kind of backed out of that one because he braked so early. And we're now up into 9th, up into the points. Not where I expected to be in this first race of My Team 2.0 career mode. But, wow, that move, that overtake.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.2 seconds.
That's the one thing on this game. I have no fear when it comes to overtakes. I will go for any move if I see a chance. And I've never been afraid to go for it, never will. And you know what? I would much rather have a crash going for it than not try it. And here we go. Gasly and Antonelli are now coming back at me. I'm now going to cover Gasly down the inside. And wow, Gasly's got the place there. That was quite a nice move. Antonelli still on the outside, but Gasly back through up into 9th. And the Alpine driver's got quite a good bit of traction there. He doesn't elect to pit yet, and neither does Antonelli. And Gasly 8/10 ahead. I can tell my tyres are just starting to feel slightly second best.
No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being. Okay,
so
dry seem like
it's
the best
still
tyre
saying
for now.
no rain expected, which is slightly worrying. Whoa! I thought Gasly was going round then. How did he catch that? That was incredible. Gasly drifting round the corner, demonstrating his Dirt 5 skills. Not spinning that. I thought that was going straight round. Fair play, Pierre. But I do think if the rain doesn't come, this might force us onto a 2-stop. Right, no, don't go for Pierre. That wow, he's slow through here. This is going to allow us to look. Gasly goes to cover. We're going to go to the outside. Left him room. And we've got ahead of the Alpine. Back up into P9. But if it doesn't rain, we're going to have to move onto a 2-stop. So that's a little bit of a worrying prospect, considering
Okay, gap ahead, 0.6 seconds.
I mean, I can ruin Verstappen's race a bit here. But all the same, that's a bit worrying, so I am hoping we do get a bit of rain towards the end of this race, but just because it's forecast doesn't mean it's coming. Tramnitz into the pits. I would like to...
You're running low on ERS. Reminder that you can play around with ERS modes in the MFD, or lift sometimes...
Yes, I know. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Here's Max Verstappen.
Okay, so Tim is coming in for his stop now.
He's all over the back of me here. He's trying to get through down the inside. That's not going to happen. We're kind of holding Max in place here. Unfortunately, if this rain doesn't come, we are going to be forced onto a two-stop. Going to let Max have the outside, but we're going to take the inside. I'm racing Max Verstappen here. I'm doing this just for fun. Max is no doubt going to be spitting blood in that helmet, but these tyres are dead. And I do feel like now this will be us committing to the two-stop if the rain doesn't come. I would have taken the tyres a couple of laps more, but if we then get a puncture, we fall down the field anyway. Oh, there's been a problem with the right rear! Oh, drama in our pit stop as the right rear does not want to come off.
You only have to stop once now. One stop left.
And who's that? Cheers, Behrman. Thanks for that. It's a nice little chop there that would have cost me my front wing. But now we're on medium tyres, which will not go to the end, so we are committing without rain to a two-stop strategy.
This is our true position. They've pitted as well, so warm up your tyres and get down the road.
So it's kind of this hasn't worked out the way I would have hoped. As we now chase down Oliver Behrman in the Haas. And I don't know if Ollie's already pitted or not. Gathering from his lack of speed there, I'm going to say I'm not sure. And Ollie not really offering a defence there as we move up into P16. Bortoletto up next. And we still have a purple middle sector there, so that's as much as we could do. Russell into the pits. Was he always behind us? A bit confused by that one. I'm a little bit confused. Was Russell always behind us? If anyone knows in the chat who's been watching this race, please let me know, because I'm a bit confused to see him there. We've got a queue here. Bortoletto, Gasly, who we were racing anyway, so there's someone else ahead. I can't see who it is. I think that might be Liam Lawson. And Gasly getting past. No, it's Isaac Hadjar. And Hadjar's going quite slowly himself. I wonder why he's going that slow. That to me screams maybe a little bit of damage. Cheers, Bortoletto. Yeah, just hold me up through half the corner, why don't you? Oh yeah, now you've got DRS, so you're going to be you're going to be annoyingly difficult to overtake at this point. And he's going to have another bit of DRS just to make my life that bit more painful, but I'm going to send it down the inside. And we're going to get that move done. I don't really want to be spending my race waiting behind Gabriel Bortoletto. I do feel like we're being forced onto a two-stopper here. Where is this weather?
And gap to the car in front, 2.6 seconds.
Yeah, I get that. But where is this rain that's supposed to be incoming? Also, Hulkenberg's holding things back. I think Lawson has just got past somebody. Charles Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race on 1:21. Carlos Sainz now in the pits. With that 22.4. Now trying to catch up to Pierre Gasly. Ugh. Though he's got Hulkenberg to be dealing with.
At the moment, just focus on the driving.
I'm glad you've got no tyre concerns. Well, I've just clicked weather report and it's gone silent, so thanks for that. You know, I was actually hoping for a weather report and not just complete silence, but, you know. Right, Lawson's backing this lot up now. Like I said, Lawson had that very early stop, so he seems to be neither...
Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push.
Here nor there with strategy. What is going on here? I think that was Hulkenberg having a go at Lawson.
We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid.
What do you mean you don't have the data? Well, come up with some data. You know, actually come up with some data for me, because I would actually like to know what this weather is thinking of doing. Thank you.
Be careful on those slicks. These conditions are making the line a bit greasy, but we're still nowhere near the changeover point.
What conditions? The line... Oh, it's sunny. I don't see any rain. Matey boy's just talking about rain. Oh, that's naughty. But I'm not pitting now. You say it's raining, but I'm not seeing any rain as I nearly go into Gasly. Lawson holding this lot up.
We might see some rain. ETA about 15 minutes.
Right, so ETA for rain is 15 minutes, but that's going to be the end of the race. So Hulkenberg pits. I mean, it's great that you think rain in 15 minutes, but that won't affect the outcome of this race, so you can tell me that, but it's just not going to do anything for me.
Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
Expect to see some rain 10 to 15 minutes from now. Also, there was a yellow flag. Lance Stroll is out. So Lance Stroll becomes the first retirement of this career mode. I'm guessing it's just Stroll doing Stroll things. Oh, getting a little bit frustrated, stuck behind. Hang on, where did you come from? I did not think Dewey had closed up on me just yet. And there he is. Where the, in the name of all that's holy, did he come from? As Lawson finally does the decent thing and gets out of everybody's way.
Piastri is in the pits.
And also Piastri's in. I'm not quite sure how that's relevant to my race, but whatever, go off I guess. As now I start to put some pressure on Gasly. I'm trying to decide, do we hang it out a few more laps and wait for rain, or do I just cut my losses and pit? Oof. Nearly losing it. I think I'm going to cut my losses and pit.
Okay,
oh!
Caution, virtual safety car is out.
Virtual safety car!
Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty.
I haven't seen that in this game yet. So this is the first safety car of any kind that I have seen in F1 25. And I don't think that would just be Stroll that caused that, so has somebody else had a moment somewhere? I don't know, but the one thing that I'm thinking is if we stay under virtual, cheap pit stop, so of course. That's just Sod's Law in action, that, isn't it? That is literally Sod's Law in action. We get to the back of the circuit and the safety car decides, nah, it's all good, all good. But like I said, we're going to cut our losses and we're going to box. We're going to take on another set of mediums to the finish. Hopefully, still have something of a competitive finish.
Okay, go, go, go. Perfect.
Get ahead of Hulkenberg, that way.
We're delighted with that. That was our last stop.
Okay, so there's Ocon. We can stay ahead of him. That's not too bad, and actually, we have. So we're still in P13 where we started. That for me is good. Do excuse me just a moment. Okay, that's all sorted. Ocon's having a look, but I'm not going to let him. Whoa! He's giving me a little nudge there, which I think is incredibly rude. But we're on brand new tyres now to finish the race on. I don't know where Ocon has found this pace from. But we're in P13. Ocon's going to have a go, but he's not going to find it easy. We've just shot that down. But with these fresh tyres, we might be able to make some inroads towards Alonso and Albon. So even though we're right where we started, I'm not discounting a better finish just yet. There's still a few more laps left of this race. And Ocon has got really strong pace at this stage.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 0.5 seconds.
But my focus is Albon and Alonso. I don't really want to be focusing on Ocon. But Ocon's just there. He's not gonna give up easy, is he? But the one thing we can do now, this stage of the race, is just push that bit harder towards the finish. We're on fresh tyres. And I do think we might be able to make some form of inroads on them if Ocon kindly pisses off. And Alonso and Albon are actually battling each other now, so that's going to make things a bit more easier for me in terms of catching them. Because they're having a bit of a fight. And we're still sitting pretty in P13 with a maniac in a hat behind me who just doesn't want to hear the word no. Gonna force him in tight there. Yeah, I didn't think so, Esteban. I did not think so. as we now start catching the battle for 11th. There's not long left in this race, and to be fair, this will be a very nice result to keep, if we can keep it. Ocon having yet another go there, but once again I'm just shutting it down and not letting the Haas go through. We've just got a few laps left of this race. I wonder, are we even going to see the rain before the checkered flag falls? Because we've only got 5 laps left to run.
So we're expecting rain in about 10 to 15 minutes.
And in fact, him now saying again 10 to 15 minutes, that's going to be after the end of the race. So I don't think weather is a concern anymore. But we've got some good pace on this tyre. And it's enough, certainly, to catch these two in front. And have a bit of fun here.
The tyre situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now.
But why would the right call be anything else? I don't understand why any other decision would be the right one. There's no moisture.
No tyre concerns.
Although Alonso's not had a good run there. We might be able to have him. Oh, how brave am I feeling? Diving down the inside, it's a double overtake. Oh, that is bravery there. Just putting my full trust in my fellow competitor to not turn in and ruin my race. And we're up into P11. Antonelli is next, 7.3 down the road. And you've got to wonder, is a point on in the final few laps of this Australian Grand Prix? Or are we just expecting slightly too much? I think we're expecting slightly too much, but what is Jack Doohan doing up in 9th? That is great for him. And we are catching Antonelli, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and I think it's going to be, especially at this stage of the race, it's going to be too tall an order to catch him. I think maybe we're just going to have to make do with P11 and P11 just outside the points. But that's not a bad effort considering we've 2 stops. Well, we might not even get that because we've now got a 3-second time penalty because of exceeding track limits, so we have had enough warning.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
I'd like to think that we can get 3 seconds to Albon, but other than that we're looking at P14, so if we're going to do it we need to kind of get a move on. 3 laps to go in this Australian Grand Prix. We're lapping in the 26s now, so we're nowhere near our prime pace.
The car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Yeah, I know. End of the race. I understand. We're pretty much now 3 seconds clear of Albon, so I think as long as we keep running at the pace we're running, we are going to just about hold on to 11th, which I will happily take. Alonso has now got ahead of Albon though, so that might throw a spanner in my works a little bit. But our pace is still fairly strong.
Okay, I got some.
Oh, Hadjar's out!
Okay, it looks like the problem's turned.
Was he ahead or behind
car.
us? Please say he was ahead. Please say he was ahead. I do think he was quite significantly behind though, which is a shame. If it was someone ahead, that would have been a point on debut. Ocon and Albon are fighting. Whoa! I don't know why, but the track just doesn't feel doesn't feel grippy. What's my tyre wear? 38%, so...
Yellow flag.
I don't know, I don't understand. But the grip was very low around there. As we're about to head on to the final lap, Ocon has now got past Alonso. But he's not going to catch 3 seconds in one lap. Antonelli is very slow. I don't understand why Antonelli is so slow, but he is. Oh. Why does it feel like it's raining without the rain?
Final lap. Push, push.
It feels like it's raining without the rain. This is weird. But Antonelli was very slow. He's sped up a bit now. And we're definitely safe to walk on, I think. As we're now on the last lap anyway. But maybe there could have been a move on Maybe there could have been the potential for a move on Antonelli, but... I'm not going to push for it when I have a 3-second penalty. It's just not worth it. God, it really does feel like it's rained without the rain. This is so weird. But anyway, the first race in my team career mode. We tried a 2-stop. We tried to gamble with the weather. It didn't quite work out as we hoped. But it's still a very strong finish.
Right,
it's P11. I'll happily take that. That's really not a bad result at all.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
Well, they kept us guessing during pre-season testing. We all wondered who it was going to be, and to have them drawn out here today, that they are the ones to beat, just goes to show that all the work they put in has really counted.
From lights out to the checkered flag, this is what they're racing for. It's points and a trip to the podium. And for those that have missed the Dutch national anthem, fear not. It's back again because Max Verstappen is back on the top step.
The Dutch national anthem, I think you mean the F1 outro.
Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula
Elsewhere
1.
then, it was a win for Max Verstappen.
Action very soon.
Charles Leclerc got second, Lando Norris getting third. So already it's a different result to what you'll see in the driver career mode. Piastri got fourth, Tsunoda rounds out the top five, Hamilton gets sixth, Sainz is seventh, Gasly eighth, doing a strong ninth, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli getting 10th. I might have put a bit more of a fight in for it if we didn't have that penalty. However, unfortunately, we did have it, and in my mind, there was no sense in really going all-out attack for a penalty if we had a penalty. Like, it just... no sense in it, really, so... But we're P11, Ocon gets 12th, Alonso behind is 13th, Liam Lawson is 14th, he was another two-stopper. Ocon was also a two-stopper, so that explains why he was quite fast. Bortoletto did a two-stopper, and so did Oliver Behrman. Russell did a three-stopper. No wonder he ended up behind us. Tim Tramnitz, a bit of a struggle of a day for him, in 19th. Hulkenberg gets 20th, and last, and as Hadjar was close to the finish, he is classified in 21st. So lots of positives to take from that. We were literally on track anyway, if you take away the penalty. On track, we were 2 seconds off of P10, so a lot of positives to take from that, lots to unpack from that, lots to go back and fiddle with in all the departments and really take a look at for me, which I'm going to do off stream in preparation for the next few races. But yeah, this is a very positive start to this all new career mode, and I'm going to be honest, this is the most excited I've been to play through a My Team career mode since its inception in 2020. And I never completed the 2020 playthrough, but I did in 2021 and I did in 2023. 24, we just very much did driver career mode and left that at that. But it's back for F1 25, and the hype to play through it is very real. That was a fun race. Like, I can't say it was the most exciting of 29 laps, but we've learned a lot, and there's a lot of positives to take from that. Right, that concludes the live stream for this evening. All that's left for me to say is thank you so much for watching and joining me. Further installments of career mode are coming. Hopefully, if I can get round 2 out tomorrow. If not, it'll be out some point in the weekend. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe for more content from me. Until the next time, I have been Joe, TTFN. Ta-ta for now. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're back, baby.